Back to the channel, everybody. Today we are starting another new project. So on our bench we have a 1948 Ford Flathead, I believe. Not sure where all the casting numbers and stuff are on this. So here's where we're at now. We got everything all cleaned up, soda blasted down, and you could see that flatheads are gonna have cracks in them. I've never seen one that hasn't. I haven't seen too many of them though. So this one is from a water jacket into a bolt hole. Not super worried about this. I don't see any cracks in any of the seats. You can see some of the seats have been replaced, but not many of them. So it still has the old, that one looks like an aftermarket seat. That one looks like an aftermarket seat. And that one's the original cast-in seat. So we've got the cracks. The only cracks on this are from bolt hole to water jacket in 3 different places on both sides. So this is the pretty rusted side here. I don't see, these flatheads are common for cracking from exhaust side down into the cylinders. I can't see anything yet. And they crack down inside here in these exhaust ports. So the problem is, I'm not worried about the cracks that I can see. I'm worried about the cracks that I can't see. So we bought a pressure tester from Summit Racing. It's got a nice thick, I think, neoprene gasket or something on there. The bolts are gasketed. So you clamp this down, put your water pump plates on, and this will allow you to pressure up the block to check if there's any cracks inside here in the exhaust ports, any in the seats, any in the cylinders, any down below. A lot of the blocks also freeze and crack right down in here. Like I said, you can see those. I'm not super worried. There's no cracks that I can see yet that I'm worried about. Go ahead and pressure test this. I'm going to check it before and after machining. So got my little regulator here, little valve, since my hoses usually leak. And you want to be able to hear the leaks. So we're going to pressure test it before to make sure there's no leaks that are detrimental or need to be worked on, to make sure that this block is even worth rebuilding. And we'll pressure test it after machining to make sure that we don't open up any cracks and everything's still sealed. So hook up my air line. Slowly crank on the air a little bit. And that's, I'm not sure what's safe, but we'll do 25 pounds. And basically that'll tell me at least it'll hold radiator pressure or double of radiator pressure. So we can take our bottle of soap and go through, spray down through here. If there's any major leaks, this thing will bleed down right away. And this is just testing one side of the block at a time. So make sure we got a little bit of bubbles there, but I think it's just from me spraying. Basically, and I've got a smoke machine that you can do this with, but we'll just dry this off afterwards. We don't create any more rust than necessary. So nothing obvious, nothing that I can hear. The other cool part about the smoke machine is if there is a crack inside here, the smoke will come out a little bit and it'll tell you how much of a leak there is. This thing is not bleeding down. We got little bits of leaks around the head bolts. The reason being is those go into the water jacket, and those seals just aren't sealing very properly. Now I've got everything torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. So I am happy with this side. I mean, there's no reason to test anything else really. Oh, I'm pointing at the block. Because it's not bleeding down. So I am happy with this side. I know there's cracks in these 3 bolt holes, which we can deal with later. We'll just put a bunch of thread sealer on the head studs, and that'll get rid of that problem. Here's a look of the backside of that plate. It's got a nice gasket in there. You can see it's imprinting really well. Gonna seal up. The washers on the bolts, however, are not holding up, and I am torquing them to what the instruction says, which is 20 foot-pounds. Not super worried about it. I mean, we'll just discount any leaks that are coming through these bolt holes. We're really just worried about these, but makes it a little bit harder to do a pressure test to see if it's bleeding down. But we'll manage with that. If we have to in the future, we'll get some better washers. Or the ideal thing would be to put the head studs in here with the sealant, let everything set up, put the plate down over it, and then get some nice washers and nuts and torque down over that. Or some nice gaskets, I guess I should say. So let me slap this thing on real quick and we'll test this side. All right, so we are all set up on the other side. Got my regulator transferred back over, and someone's gonna catch me on that, so I might as well admit it. It was 20 inch-pounds, so I actually ruined all these washers. So I'll have to buy new washers for this the next time I use it, but it should work for this test. Like I said, we're not too worried about those. So let's bring it up to leave it right there at 25. Holding pressure. I think she's gonna test. Actually, the bolts really aren't even leaking on this one. So we are good. No seats leaking, no cracks in the cylinders or anything that we can see. And we are holding about 25 pounds of pressure. So everything good should be good on this block. I'm gonna start machining on this and start boring and cutting out seats, and after I get everything all cut, a sleeve put in it, I will re-pressure test this, make sure that there's no cracks or anything that I opened up, make sure that my sleeve seals, and I will show you guys that after I'm done or in the middle of machining, and show you the next stage the next time. Thanks for watching. Follow along if you're interested in this build. Or any of the rest of the stuff I've got going. I've always got little builds and projects going on here. So yeah, subscribe, like the channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.